Hello, I'm Ribcage, and I am an art YouTuber. Like, I mainly do art stuff, and then on top of art stuff, I do like other things. I don't know, like fursuit things, furry things. Um, yeah. And today I'm gonna be working on this really ugly base, and it's gonna turn beautiful. I'm gonna turn it into my OC Tacket, and what I'm gonna be doing while I'm working on like the the fursuit is I'm gonna be talking about my OC Tacket's lore. So fun little art and commentary thing. So I'm gonna get into it. Before I begin the real lore, um, trigger warning for like violence and some dark themes and stuff. But um, before I start the real lore, I must catch everyone up on the Yales, and the Yales are Tackett's family. Um, they are a very interesting bunch, with the mom being an alcoholic and smoker, really good for pregnancy, right? And then the dad would have been a good dad, although he got like sick and got a brain disease from being sick, and then afterwards it kind of sent his life into a downward spiral because he wasn't acting like himself, so his wife went back to acting bad and stuff, and it didn't go so well. So that was the little brief thing. Wait, no, I forgot to say, he has 11 siblings. 11. I mean, he technically has 13, but and not all these are his actual siblings. Some of them are half siblings, but not many. But I only count two of them because one of them died like really early on. Like died his daughter, and then the other ran away early on, which I think they would, to make it make sense, they would have to be four when they ran away, which I'm not. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm gonna change their lore around a bit. So that's gonna change. But yeah, of course I forgot more. So the Yales, they live in a trash dimension, and within this trash dimension, they live in like a trailer that is two trailers fused together because there's, of course, 14 members of the family, so they gotta have a bunch of room for all of them, but not actually a bunch of room because they can't afford a bunch of room. Okay, to begin Tackett's life, he started out as little old Tic Tac, and Tic Tac was his old name. Like, that's what his parents gave him as a name. That's a really sad name. And I kind of feel bad for giving him that name myself, but it goes well with a different name in the future. So, yeah. But he, like, while he was young, he just kind of just floated around the whole place. Not actually floated around, metaphorically floated around, because he didn't really have much emotion to him. He was mostly just in like a little daze state most of the time, and in this daze state, he would kind of just do what he was told, and then not anything else. Which sounds really sad, but he couldn't really feel that many emotions anyway, so he wasn't really feeling that sad about it. So one day, his dad tells him, "Go get me some sodas from the convenience store down the road." And of course, Tic Tac is like, okay. So he goes, and he like starts walking down the road, and then he looks to the front of the room, and then boom, he gets hit by a car, and that sounded a little bit much. But after getting hit by the car, he did not have a graceful landing at all. And since he's in trash dimension, there's trash everywhere, and he gets unlucky enough to fall head first into like a metal sheet, like right here. But the thing is, his sister, Trinket does lots of magic, and one of Trinket's things that she worked very hard on is her death insurance. Not life insurance, death insurance. So if one of her siblings dies and they have the death insurance, then it brings them back to life in some way. Although it's not usually the best ways, and Tic Tac is definitely an example of that. So, when he was brought back to life, he wasn't himself anymore. Because he, in himself, he was trapped, like, in this dark area of his mind, and he was just forced to watch the two new people in his, like, two new people control his body. So he got to watch as they went about his daily life and did the things that he would do. Their names were Tick and Tack. Tick, which, by the way, whenever he got hit by this car and then slammed into the metal, and then the death insurance, a lot of times it changes how you look. So with him, it definitely changed how he looked, and it made him, instead of being gray, like just completely gray, and no patterns at all, or anything interesting, he was split into two. One side white, and the other side black. Kind of like some yin yang. Oh my god. Okay. Kind of like some yin yang action. And after being, like, split into two, Tick and Tack were their own people. So, Tick, the white side, like, light, a bright day, like, I don't know, like, bright, snowy winter day, and then it's, like, full of holiday cheer. That's, like, Tick. Yeah, Tick. Tick is, he can only feel positive emotion. And, while Tack, the, like, dark, gloomy side, he can only feel the negative emotions. So together, they kind of balance themselves out in a way, although Tack is very, like, unpredictable, and Tick is just kind of stupid, to be honest, because if you can't feel any negative emotion, like, he can't feel mad, he can't feel sad, he can't feel, like, he can't grieve. So, he's kind of stupid. I mean, he has a good heart, because he has to. He has to have a good heart, of course, because he can only feel positive emotion. I'm gonna boost it here, but... Yay, I'm back. Okay, so, in contrast to Tick, Tack has, like, a terrible heart, by default, because he can only feel negative emotions. So it's kind of like a battery, to be honest. Kind of like batteries. Whenever you have to put, like, a negative side and a positive side on the battery, and you put it in the controller, and it makes the controller work. That's how they are. So, together, they make great Tick and Tack. Although, the real Tic Tac was, like, trapped inside of that body. But imagine this. So, you wake up one day, and then you look around, but all you see is a black expanse of nothingness. Besides a giant screen where you get to watch other people live out your life. Okay, how do you feel? Good? Bad? Well, let me tell you how Tic Tac felt. Tic Tac didn't feel anything. Because that's how Tic Tac is. He was like, huh? What's going on? And then he kind of watched them. Although, as he was watching them, oh my god, I need to work on this. But as he was watching them, like, interact with his siblings, he kind of started to get jealous. He was like, why should they be able to interact with my siblings? They're my siblings. So, after, like, a few weeks, he started yelling up to Tick and Tack, and Tack would just grumble, but Tick actually responded back, because Tick's sweet, and they would actually talk, but they kind of viewed Tic Tac as a voice in their head, screaming at them, which is really nice, you know? And Tic Tac was like, okay, I can handle this. Tick is nice. I'll be able to do this. What's so bad about being trapped in a dark expanse of nothingness, where I can't do anything but write in my diary, and also watch someone possess my body and do stuff that I never actually thought to do in my life because I was too dazed to do it, ever. And, I mean, he was okay with it for a while, but as he got a bit older, he kind of started, like, that jealousy kept creeping back, and he would shut it out, but every time he did, it would come back worse, and it would last for longer. And soon enough, after his jealousy didn't seem to want to go away, he decided that he was going to take matters into his own hands. Although, that's not really something you can do whenever you're stuck in a dark expanse of nothingness, you know? So, after trying to take matters into his own hands, he kind of just failed, because what are you gonna do? Get out? Get out of this prison that you're trapped in? I'd like to see you try. And, he tried, but he just couldn't figure out a way. So, some years passed by, and, Tick and Tack, they move out of the trash dimension. I think there were, 15 by then. So, moving out, like, they were moving away, not moving out, like, they were with their mom. So their mom came with them, they moved out of the trash dimension together, and so did some of their siblings, not all of them, but some of the siblings. You would think that maybe, like, Tick and Tack would mature a bit over the years, but no, they don't, because they're not actual people, to be honest. They're not, like, they're souls, but their bodies are limiting them and their emotions to only feeling negative or positive. So, after a while, Tic Tac he gets really tired of this. And Tic Tac, essentially every day, he's just, like, angry. He, like, wants to kill Tick and kill Tack. And he turns to, like, dark magic to get out of this prison. And he, I guess, like, talks to some ghost. And this ghost is like, oh yeah, I can help you out of here. So, he gives up his soul, and after giving up his soul, he finds out a way to get out of that prison, that he was in the prison of his own body. And doing that, he separates every one of them. So, all of them are in different bodies now. So, Tick is his own person, and Tack is his own person. And this time, since they are not part of the death insurance thing anymore, they can actually feel different emotions. They don't have to just feel positive or just feel negative, which, like, only one per kitty. So, Tacket, or Tic Tac, since he's really angry, he decides his first line of action is kill both of them. So, he does that. He does exactly that. And then he very kindly, he takes their tails off, and he finds out how to taxidermy them, and he taxidermies those tails. And then he sews them to his own bottom. And that was so kind of him, you know. You really love how kind Tacket is. But after this, he does actually turn a new butt cheek, because he probably needs one after he's sewn the
2 people he killed tails to his butt cheek.
He decides that instead of just moping around and being angry all the time like he used to be, he would live the best he could, because YOLO, you only live once. Well, you only live once if you're Tacket, or someone who has their soul sucked away by a demon. So, in my belief, it's okay to believe anything else. But 1 second, I'm gonna collect my thoughts. Okay, now, he decides that he's gonna do everything in life that he hadn't before. He wasn't able to. And now he can actually appreciate, like, what's going on in his life. So, he lives out his life like an absolute crazy person. Although he's very cautious. He's very cautious for a crazy person. Like, imagine an absolute crazy thrill seeker, but then whenever you ask them to do something that could actually put them in danger, they're just like, no, I would never do that. You can go do that. I would never put myself in danger. I love myself. That's Tic Tac. By the way, his name is still Tic Tac until the next funny thing happens. So, the next funny thing that happens is that he gets real unlucky, and he falls down like a little tear in reality that leads straight down to Kitty Hell. And Kitty Hell, it's not like actual like hell or anything. It's not like, oh, you get tortured down there because you did something bad. No, you get down there, and it's pretty much neutral grounds. It's not like necessarily good or necessarily bad. It's whatever the people down there make of it, and whatever the kitties down there like decide that they want. So at the time, it was pretty chill, I guess. It doesn't really have that many rules down there, so it's definitely not like peaceful by any means. But like getting down there, he decided to change his name to Tacket. Yay! It's Tacket! And he like just acts like I don't know, a mature adult, I guess. Even though I think he was like he might have been an adult by then. He might have been he was either 17 or 18, I don't know. So he gets down there and he just acts like he's been living there for forever and keeps living his life out down there. But as he does, the effects of Kitty Hell kind of start taking place on him. And what Kitty Hell does to you is, most of the time, it just makes you not want to leave. Like, if you're asked to leave, you would say, "Nuh-uh, I don't want to leave." But you probably wouldn't be able to leave anyways, even if you wanted to, because it's really hard to get out. But sometimes, instead of just changing if you wanted to leave or not, it changes, like, parts of your personality. And instead of just, like, changing parts of his personality, he got to have a real fun family meetup with Tick and Tack. But this time, they were the voices in his head. So this time, they got his role, and they got to watch as his life played out on a big silver screen while they were trapped in this beautiful, empty, black nothingness of void and nothing. So, yeah. They were trapped down there just like Tic Tac was, just like Tacket was. And Tacket, since Tacket had turned a new butt cheek, he was like, okay, I hate you guys so much, and I would like to kill you again if I had a choice. But I don't anymore, because I'm a good man. So, he did that little spell, he did like, bippity boppity boo, and got them out. Wait, let me redo that, I have a wand here. Actually, it's not a wand, it's a cat toy. Bippity boppity boo! Okay. So, he gave them their own bodies, and in their own bodies, they were able to feel emotions that weren't just positive and negative anymore, because they were their own people, and they slowly like develop into new kitties. They slowly like become real people, or real kitties, because they're not people. They're yeah, that's right. And oh wait, did I say they're not real people? They're furries. I meant they're not like they're not humans. And as in like furries, not the people in the fandom. As in like that's an anthropomorphic cat. Okay, because I'm a furry too, and I'm a person. At least I think I am. Why is my pillow like moving underneath me? Anyways, the tick and the tack. Oh, my mother's coming in. You know how I said that I was gonna make this beautiful. Well, I'm kind of nearing the end of Tacket's story. Not the end already, but it's looking a little interesting right now. So I think I need to like do some stuff more off camera to layer more on top of it so that it actually looks like a cat and not like a blood-sucking parasite. I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you guys this. Look at this blood-sucking parasite. Oh my god. Hi, it's me, Tacket, the blood-sucking parasite. I've come out of the hole in the wall to tell you about, today's sponsor, called let me find it. Dislocated jaw skeleton with a baby doll head that is in its cranium. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Okay, I can't take myself seriously, so let me go back to the actual video. I severely apologize for that very scary interference in the video. So back to my stuff. Okay, there it was. So Tack, he grows up a bit more, and he ends up being like kind of taken after his mama, being a smoker, alcoholic, and then he's pretty big on gambling too. But he gets like really emotional whenever he loses in gambling. So most of the nights he cries himself to sleep because he lost he lost on whatever machine he was playing. And then we have Tick. Not Tick. If you've ever listened to it, just think of Confessions of a Rotten Girl by Hatsune Miku. Or well, I think it's by Sawtown, right? With Miku, with the help of Miku, not by Miku. She didn't make it. Oh my god, my cat is trying to break in. But he grows up and he's still like sweet and all. He's still nice. He's still good. But then on top of that, he's like a little bit of a weirdo. Oh, 1 second, let me grab my kitten. Oh, okay. Just a little break from the story to show you my little kitten. This is Anjin. Anjin? Oh my god. I think she's trying to run away. Oh, okay, I'm gonna let her out. I'm back! So, I think I was talking about Tick. Yeah, Tick. Sweet, but a weirdo. And, I love him, but I also don't love him. So, Tick and Tacket, they all end up, like, going to the Kitty-Sino district of KDL, which is a wordplay of kitty and casino, because that's what the district. Oh my god, my cat is at the door again. What do I do? But like in the Kitty-Sino district, it's like all gambling all day, every day. Which, I mean, it sounds like a life for sure, but my cat won't stop meowing. So they live there for a bit, and then after living there, Tacket decides that he don't want to die. He don't want to die just yet, so he keeps giving himself like body modifications and stuff until he will finally die. And then Tick and Tack, well, I mean, they live a normal length life and probably die normal deaths. And that's essentially it. Let me work on this fursuit a little more so I actually have something to show you guys before I go. This is what I have right now, by the way. It's kind of ugly, but it's coming together, okay? Okay, so here's the face without the shaving. It looks interesting right now, but you can see I need to shave. I still need to shave it down, of course. So I'm gonna get to that, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I pretty much finished shaping all of it, and I think that was pretty good. So let me just okay. here it is, up close without my scary eyes hindering it. Very nice, very nice. Okay, that's all for the video. Bye-bye.